here, we will shift now to the second topic of this video. Those who reject Reformed covenant theology will often mischaracterize it either ignorantly or maliciously as replacement theology, suggesting that we believe the Christian church has replaced the ethnic Israelites as the covenant people of God, and that God essentially abandoned his covenant promises he made to ethnic Israel, proving himself to be unfaithful and obviously sinning in the process. Of course, this in its basic form is absolute heresy, but it is a good thing that covenant theology is not at all replacement theology. Covenant theology, on the other hand, is fulfillment theology. The reason why covenant theology is not replacement theology is because you cannot replace something that did not exist in its proper form to begin with. We must remember the words of Galatians chapter 3, verse 16. The only offspring to whom the promises of God are made is Christ Jesus and those who are in him by faith. To further demonstrate this point, I would like to go into a more in-depth comparison between the false notion of replacement theology and the biblical notion of covenant theology. In replacement theology, the promises of Abraham were originally made to ethnic Israel. After Christ came in the incarnation, the promises that were made to ethnic Israel were then transferred to the church. And as a result, ethnic Israel is abandoned and God gave up on the promises he made to them. Now, obviously this is wrong because, like dispensationalism actually, it assumes that promises were made to ethnic Israel on the basis of ethnicity. We once again must remember the words of Galatians chapter 3, verse 16. If you don't remember anything else from this video, I hope that you memorize this passage. The promises of God were made to Christ and his offspring, and not to any ethnic nation. On the other hand, in covenant theology, the promises of Abraham were made to Christ and those who are in him by faith, i.e., the Christian church. Prior to the incarnation, the Old Testament saints had faith in God to deliver on his promises by sending the coming Messiah to redeem them. And when Christ finally came in the incarnation, the promises that were made to him and his people find their fulfillment, as 2 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 20 once again outlines. Under this framework, the Christian church does not replace ethnic Israel as the covenant people of God, because the church has always been the covenant people of God throughout all of human history. It is here that we mention the importance of the remnant of God's covenant people. The remnant of God's covenant people was not identical to ethnic Israel. Rather, the remnant of God's covenant people merely existed in the midst of ethnic Israel, most obviously in the Old Testament administration. The Apostle Paul makes this expressly clear in a few passages of his, namely in Romans chapter 9, verse 27, in which he quotes Isaiah chapter 10 to teach that though the number of the sons of Israel be as the sand of the sea, only a remnant of them will be saved. And in Romans chapter 11, where he quotes 1 Kings chapter 19, to teach that God has not rejected his people whom he foreknew. God has kept for himself 7,000 men who have not bowed the knee to Baal, teaching that even at this present time, there is a remnant chosen by grace, not by ethnicity.